Garcia. I was born in Wichita, Kansas, raised in Naples, Florida, and currently reside in Naples, Florida. I was pretty much intrigued into the paranormal since I was a little girl. I was 6 years old when I had my first experience. Not to get into too much detail about each experience I had, but my first one, I smelled at the time, my best friend, her mom passed away of cancer, and she was my mother's best friend. And I could smell her perfume in the kitchen. We were having breakfast one morning, and it was very distinct. One of her cousins said she saw like a shadow going to her room too. I didn't see it myself, but that was my first experience with the paranormal. The second one, I was like 12 years old, and this one got more surreal and more subtle. I was just having what you would describe as sleep paralysis. And it was just like a chapter book of a nightmare going and going. And that's where I realized, like, hey, am I going crazy? Like, what's going on here? As the years went by, I majored in psychology to see if there's something that can scientifically prove what's going on with me, and why am I so sensitive to the other side. Therefore, as you know, a good investigator out there, you would have to make it big. You have to have your own TV show. If you're starting off like myself as a part-time investigator, you will need to find a good job. So I am an assistant manager at a high-rise to make my income. But in the meantime, I do this on the side, which is my passion, which is something I enjoy. And hopefully in the future, I can gain more knowledge from other investigators and develop this more seriously. Maybe, hopefully, one day, I will be a full-time investigator. But in the meantime, I wanted to kind of give introduction of myself. So you sit there and you wonder, is your mind like fabricating these things? Is your mind like your worst enemy? So while I was in school, I pretty much did my research, and I felt like, I want to start investigating. Big inspiration is to the Ghost Adventures crew team out there. I used to watch their shows. I'm like, hey, that's something I kind of want to do. Like, I kind of like that. And I always grew up watching their shows. From there on, I investigated like what are creepy places in Florida in my area, and I saw St. Augustine, Florida. I took the opportunity, which we'll get to episode 1 here shortly, but in the meantime, we did our research, or I did my research, and I wanted to do that, so I had to drag my friends. Nobody's really as involved as, creepy, weird things like I am, or at least my group of friends, of course, and all these investigations, my members were my friends I have to drag on. But we did our first investigation, not to get into detail, and that's where I fell in love, and I felt like this is my calling. This is what I want to do. I finished college, and then from there on, I just started investigating different places, did my research. And it's tough. It's tough when you're doing this all by yourself. Usually investigators have their own team members and crew, and they sync in together and collaborate, which takes time as well. But you get, a short amount, of time to, publicize your content and out there. It's all by yourself. It does take a longer period of time, as you will see the transition throughout the episodes of how I developed and how more skilled and knowledgeable I became as an investigator. So you will see that throughout these episodes, and you'll kind of know how it all mashes up and how it all works out. So it's a very interesting process that you will see throughout these episodes. I'll be doing or introducing you per episode a narrative, and also explaining the history of each location, introducing the team members that were in each episode, and you'll give the narrative of the haunted location. On top of that, the evidence of footage and videos and photography will be provided simultaneously. Thereon, Danny Zabaleta, he will be our interviewer for Supernatural Eye. He'll be doing the follow-up post-interviews. The cool thing about that, it's episodes that consist of different team members, and you'll see throughout the years where they're at, where they've been, their different perspectives. Are they believers? Are they skeptics? It all depends. But that's cool because you'll get to see the different perspectives, in other words, and where they're at life. Not everybody's going to be selected. It's going to be probably about minimum 2 to 3 or max. And it'll be cool. I think that's going to be the most interesting part, is what it was back then to where you're at now. What do you retain? Your memory, your knowledge, your experience. So it's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to the follow-up post interviews of this segment. you will see in this video, in this show, is pretty much authentic. It's raw, it's real. The only thing that's pretty much not something I create on my own is the soundtrack to the introduction and the end credits. That is based on the movie and soundtrack Queen of the Dam, one of my all-time favorite movies. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Love her. That's about it. Everything else here is raw. It's authentic. It is what my heart, tears, and drive is for. So I hope you guys get to enjoy it. The reason why I have a passion for investigating and why I became a paranormal investigator is not only do I want to help, the living out and answer questions of why there's certain hauntings, but also it's to help the dead, to, help them out at peace, whether if it's to pass over to the other side or help them answer questions. Why are they stuck at a certain, location? Why, there's a residual haunting, an intelligent haunting, all of that. So it's a little bit not just to help the living, but also the dead, and to resolve unwanted manners. So that is why this is so big for me to do what I'm doing, and why I have such a drive and a passion for it. And I want to gain more experience and more knowledge and connect with other paranormal investigators out there in the field, to see what happens life after death. That's a segment on to Danny. My question to you is, does the other side exist? What happens life after death? I welcome all believers and skeptic on the show. You feel free to debate, comment below, see what your perspective is on that question. And again, you are watching Supernatural Eye. Stay tuned for episode 1, The Old Jail. Will be starting tomorrow, May 15th, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching.
What is up, guys? My name is Zabaleta. I wanted to jump on here and introduce myself. I was brought on to this role by Francesca Garcia. She asked me to be part of her project, Supernatural Eye. My role within that project will serve as the interviewer for these different candidates that have experienced these journeys and these trips with Francesca herself. It's a great honor to be part of their project with her. Now, it's even better to find out their perspective of what they believed going in and what they came out believing afterwards. I understand that some are true believers in paranormal activity and some aren't. A little background as myself, my day-to-day job is in sales. I've been involved in that field for 3 years. I've never experienced any paranormal activity myself, but I do believe that there are other forms of the physical life that we carry and we see around us. I will be open to experiencing something like that, but it freaks me out a little bit to find out that if something may attach to my being and will hunt me. So I'd rather just stay far away from it or not get too close to it. And that's all for now, guys. I will catch you guys in the next episode.